so I don't have like 2 drinks in front of me.
All the drinks in front
Yes,
of you.
exactly. You
All
get
the
it
drinks.
all because you're a queen. Yes.
Cecile is thirsty.
Yes. Okay. Hi everyone, this is Kimlin Baffy, aka the Blue Mermaid with Q's Blue World. Today I am bringing you another segment of You've Got to Meet Cecile. Cecile, tell us about who you are, but before you introduce yourself, we are casting from Mexicano in the beautiful Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So, Cecile, introduce yourself to the world.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me here. Well, actually the founder of a gallery that's named Sra Art. Sra Art was actually a first commercial art gallery in Phnom Penh when we opened in 2019. So yeah, just before COVID. But at the same time, you know, it's a beautiful thing that we managed to open in 2019 because as we were the first, because everyone was thinking that actually Phnom Penh was like weird to open an art gallery, a commercial art gallery, because all the gallery in Phnom Penh were first restaurants or inside 5-star hotels or gallery cafes, and it's very different because when you have artists that exhibit in cafes or in restaurants, it's nice to see art around. Like here, for example, we actually did some of the mural in this place. But you don't come to eat or you don't come to have a drink in a place that you want to buy art. When you come to a gallery, you actually have someone that explains to you about the intention of the artist, that makes you the tour, that gives you a visit, and that will work for helping your image, promoting what you're doing. Like as an artist, is also a full communication or like a platform for you to express yourself. So when I opened Sra Art in 2019, I really wanted to create a space having a platform for the artists to be able to not just having the art on the wall, but also having a place that living art. So this is why I created that space because, also to give you a little bit of background, in Cambodia you have 70% of the population that's less than 30 years old. So imagine the amount of creativity, the amount of imagination, the amount of things that they want to express. And unfortunately, that's the thing that struck me the most here is like they have so much to say and there's not really any more like much platform to show it and to display it. So I understand all the galleries that wanted to open in Siem Reap because at first they were thinking that the market was mostly tourists. And I was, in my opinion, I was half Cambodian, you don't change the mentality and you don't change the mind of people if you're not in the capital city. So for me it was very important and dear to my heart, again as a half Cambodian, to be able to show the people in Cambodia that after the tragedy that they've been through and losing all the artists, losing all the population that was like all the intellectual, that there was like a renaissance almost of the people that were so creative and they would be proud of it. And instead of like looking at the culture, because again there's an explosion of artists in Thailand or in Vietnam, being proud of what Cambodia is today.
Yes.
So when I created Sra Art, I was very excited by it. We opened with the Photo Phnom Penh Festival, which is again like an international event, and that gave us like a lot of coverage, media coverage, especially like in France, the newspaper, but also a lot in Cambodia. And that actually helped us like putting artists on the map, but also helping us putting us on the map. And then, it was exponential. We had a lot of young artists, a lot of young people, Cambodian, obviously a lot of expats as well, that came here came to Sra Art to actually discover that there's a vibrant contemporary art scene in this country. And this is, a great thing that they didn't realize before, and they were asking a lot of questions, they were coming to artist talk, but we were also trying to do something different, because when you're in a country that's like it's not cultural, again they're very young and they didn't grow up with that idea that you're going to see an art exhibition. So it's all again like trying to not really teach people, because I don't like that. I don't like to put the art as an elitist thing. For me, it should be democratized. Sorry,
Yeah.
I still have a French accent when I speak.
It's beautiful.
But for me, it was like explaining to people that art is for everyone. Art should be touching everyone in a different manner. So we created art and wine pairing tour, for example, like for people that were just oh, let's enjoy a glass of wine and doing wine tasting, and how you can create different sensory like multi-sensory emotions to people. You're seeing it, you have an emotion, you're tasting it, you're eating it, you're having you're talking to different people about it, and that's great. We had poets actually, I was talking about, that were expressing how when they were seeing the art, what they were feeling about it and expressing it with words. We had musicians that were, and also artists that were doing live painting while the musicians were creating on live. So we creating all this experience for people. We had dancers coming around, contemporary dancers, tango dancers, and we really trying to make it the place vibrant for people that also would not think about opening the door of an art gallery and think that I have the etiquette of seeing a concert. I know what it is to actually see a dance performance, and even if I've never been to an art gallery before, and the fact that I will just come for the first time tasting wine, maybe the second time I'll allow myself to go and check out another artist and another exhibition. So that was kind of the thoughts behind it. So again, not just having the art on the wall, but make it like a vibrant place.
I really get excited to hear about this because at Q's Blue World, we believe in the creative expressions, and not just, if you're a visual artist, you stay here. If you're a musician, you stay here. No, we want creatives and creative people to be playing with each other, to interact with each other, because it is in interacting with one another's art forms that we connect with each other. It's a conversation. So that's why I was really excited when you were talking about in an early conversation that we can really partner with artists, with poets and dancers and musicians. That way we're actually getting people to connect and talk and have a conversation, right?
Exactly. And this is also very important for us to having an audience that literally is local, and it's telling the Cambodian themselves that they should be proud of what they're creating. But when I'm saying touching the local, I also want to say that Sra Art, even though we're showing the contemporary art scene of Cambodia, it's important to say that we're not just showing Cambodian.
Yes.
We're showing creative people that live in this country. We have obviously most of the artists that we're exhibiting are Cambodian, but it's also important that for me, I wanted to show also that there's people that live here for many years and that have as much the right to express with their own culture, with their own past, with their own history, their own technique, what they felt when they lived in this country. And I feel like this is also important because again, it's a very young country, and for the local artists to actually see a different way and different past, different culture, that helps them expressing themselves and inspiring themselves.
You're introducing them to other artists and other art forms and other expressions, and to see how each culture can influence one another, right?
Exactly.
And that is an effort to help the artists find their voices, their own voices. Yes. Can you tell me if some of the artists that you have in Sra Art Studios?
Oh, right now we have a Cambodian artist that we're working a lot with Open Studio Cambodia. It's also they're based in Siem Reap, even we're based in Phnom Penh. And I mean, it's an amazing collective of artists, of different artists, and the artist that we're exhibiting right now is called Monchir. And Monchir has a pretty difficult past. Again, I told you before that I don't like to introduce his art by saying what happened to him, and because I don't want to put him in the box, but I feel like he helps understanding why he started creating. He came from a very poor background, so he, as a lot of Cambodians, starting working on construction site because that's the easy work that you can do. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, in a lot of developing countries, safety is not really there, and they do not as much rules, and unfortunately he got electrocuted, and he started developing gangrene on both of his arms and needed to amputate around the elbow, both of his arms, and he started obviously being very depressed because he couldn't support himself, support his family, and he started doing art therapy. And thanks to this, he became now a professional singer, a professional contemporary dancer, and also block print artist. So he's basically engraving in block prints, like a lot of things that he's thinking, part of the scenes of his life, and thanks to this, is like again recreating something that he feels, and some of them are like limited edition. So he basically just doing block prints on after he's engraving it, he's putting ink on it, and then he prints it on paper. And then some of them afterwards he repaints them with some colors, and this is like unique edition. So it's really cool, because when you have someone that literally would think, I lost everything and I recreated everything from nothing, and this guy is an inspiration.
Yes.
He's always smiling, he's always full of optimism, he's someone that literally, I have both my hand, I cannot do half of what he's doing, and that literally is telling me like a very important message is whatever happens to you in life, you always have a way to recreate yourself. And again, like when you see him, there's not a moment that he's like pitying himself, he's taking his phone, texting, calling, lighting a cigarette, and I'm like, every time I'm like, how does he do this? But he still, and he doesn't even, of course, like he took a lot of training, but it was not easy for him every day. But the fact that every morning he was like, waking up and be like, I want to be a better person, and I want to show people that they can do it. It's an inspiration for me, and
it's an inspiration for me too. And at Q's Blue World, that's what one of our missions is to look for exquisite people who are determined to create and make a difference in this world. And that's why we travel around collecting stories, because it inspires us to be better iterations of myself. So I can't be you, I can't be with everybody else, but I can be the best me. And in giving ourselves permission, like this artist, what's his name?
Monchier.
Just like Monchier is making choices for his life with whatever he's given, I am inspired. I am faced with, what am I doing with my life?
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
With all the resources that I have.
And I mean, of course, like we all have the right that the moments that it's not easy, and everyone has going through trouble, everyone has their own challenges. But when you see people that literally, again, lost everything and managed to make so much of it, this is also what inspired me, the same way as you, that showing these people and these people's stories, hopefully it helps me become a better person, but it helps other people to be a better person. And this is also great way of like showing art, is because you're not lecturing anyone to do that.
That's right.
But you're hopefully inspiring people within, and this is also the beauty of having like so many artists and so many way of expression around. Like
it's thank you so much. I just appreciate your vibe and your commitment to not just keeping things on the wall and keeping it very distant. You want to bring art and the hearts of artists to the people. I mean, all of the artists that I've met, that's their heart's desires, not to just decorate somebody's living room.
Exactly, yeah.
They want to make a connection and make a difference in the world that you live in. I mean,
that's basically storytelling. I keep telling people that owning art gallery is basically telling stories.
That's right.
And like sharing stories.
Yes.
And it's and as a mom, I mean, like I know how important in life it is to actually hear about stories, and because they make you grow.
Yes.
So.
And I also heard another challenge that Cecile gave each one of us. We always have, many people have the misconception that art collectors are people that are very like rich or highfalutin, but artists would love for everyday people to have their art, because they want to connect with you. So one of my programs, when I started working as an artist myself, a visual artist, 10% of my sales was put aside so I can buy somebody else's art. So whether I bought a poetry book, or whether I bought a ticket to go see someone's show, or buy somebody's artwork. So it doesn't matter where you are or who you are, how much you are making, set aside a percentage of your income to support another artist. And when your art money purchases another person's art, that's special magic there.
It is, because it's like having a little piece of story inside your place, and also sharing, because the artist, like most of the time, every time that like we're selling an art piece from an artist, is obviously is for him it's like a way of living, but he's also sharing a piece of his soul, and
Yes.
he has a special connection to every person that he will sell his art to. So that's why we're also making sure they always have a certificate of like authenticity that's like signed by the artist, that like most of our artists like to put a little message as well when they want to sell a piece, because again it's like saying a thank you, but it's also thank you for believing in me. And
Yes,
we
yes.
all need this, I think.
So, what are ways that people in our community can connect with the arts? I mean, they can be artists, right? What else can they do?
Well, again, like this is why we created so many different events. So when you're coming at, for example, like at Sra Art, when you're coming to the gallery, the idea is to experience it in a different way. So, for example, when we had dance performances or music performances, like the idea is again touching all the senses
Yes.
and being able to interact with it. So sometimes when we have live painting and things, we're doing a lot of workshop where we had like an artist, for example, that was telling us about his process of doing abstract work, for example, and so people can learn about it, can ask questions, can meet the artist. It's all about like conversation. You don't need to be, there's a lot of people that tell me, I've never been to your gallery, I heard about it, but art is not my thing. And I was like, what do you mean art is not my thing? No, art is complicated. I know nothing about art. I was like, basic, do you listen to music? Yes, but it's not the same thing. I said like, yes, it is. Art is defined by so many different things. It's not about like saying art is not an elitist thing. As again, it's not. You don't need to be having a proper etiquette. You can come in flip flop and shorts and come visit an art gallery, and this is actually the beauty of it. But like people are like so, the idea is like going to the opera. You need to dress up. Or I don't know. Like, what do I wear? I cannot go to an art gallery like just after working out. Of course you can. And again, like this is why we created so many different events, so you find your fit. So if you want to have like just a very small committee and just having artist talk and like going and ask questions, that's fine. If you're rather hiding in the crowd and like have a drink while listening to music and just enjoy what's around you, that's fine. If you just want to come on a random Tuesday and like, visit the gallery, that's great as well. So it's all about finding your vibe and discovering what actually is your thing or not. But art is for everyone, and this is why we created so many, events, because we wanted for everyone to find their fit, because we believe that everyone will, connect with some kind of art eventually. Because it's not about liking everything. I would love to say that every single pieces that I exhibit I'm in love with. I understand it, and I find it very interesting to actually challenge myself sometimes to creating an emotion doesn't mean I have to love it. It's creating an emotion is already a win-win, because if you're in front of something and you feel something, like whatever you like it or don't like it, and this is also a conversation I have with some artists. If I have when we have like the best critique, I feel like our kids, when we a lot of the time we have kids art club at the gallery, because I also believe it's a long-term thing. And I had the chance to grow up in Paris with a lot of exhibition and going to museum and art galleries every week. So for me, it's something natural, and I understand that it's not natural for people here. So when we do Kids Art Club inside the gallery, it helps the kids to actually be surrounded by it without acknowledging it. And sometimes they actually make comments about what's surrounding it, and it's, again, the best critic in the world. Sometimes they're like, I don't like this. Oh, why? Well, I don't like the color and things. But then the fact that they already talk about it, the fact they're critiquing it, the fact that they look at the color, they look at what is this? Oh, it's a canvas. Oh, it's weird. It has 3 dimensions. The fact that, they recreate, it's interaction. And the fact that they grow up with that idea that they can interact with art will make them adults.
They already started it.
Yeah, exactly.
That process. And most of the time, people who feel such a distance with art is because they are not familiar with it. They haven't been around it. And so by just giving them an accessible space where different events can bring them in so that they can play. You can go with your child to an art program and play with
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going like, well, my son is 4 now. He's been to literally, obviously, like to every event that the gallery. Sometimes he doesn't like it. He's like, Mama,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to go
Oh,
home.
yeah.
And sometimes he loves it. And I was actually telling you this really funny story that when we did this painter that is explaining his process in abstract. So he was just explaining the process. So he was not doing, like a proper piece of painting. So, and then my son was like, he was like, so explaining and like starting doing the brush and like doing several techniques and some collage as well. And my son, who was like 3 at the time, took the brush, looked at the painting like this, and started painting as well. And everyone was like, whoa, and the artist was actually encouraging him. He was like, yeah, go for it. Like, and he was like doing the work and like stopping, taking a step back, looking at it. And then after he dropped the paint and he said, voila. Everybody applauded. It was so funny. Even the artist was like, good job, good job. And this is what I love about children. Like if you give them the keys of literally unleashing their inner artist, because we all have a little artist inside us.
Yes!
It's like unleashing the creativity and imagination. Then, sky's the limit. So.
Oh, you are just speaking my language. I mean, one of the reasons why I came on this journey is because when I was 8 years old, I had a dream of children crying, right? We had that conversation. And, since I have a chance that my doctor says you can travel, I wanted to go around looking for the children who are needing to know that they're loved so they can play again. And you are creating a space where people can really do that. People can.
Well, I'm trying.
But, I want you to try. So those of you in Cambodia or in Southeast Asia, please make a trip to Cambodia, to Phnom Penh, go to Sra Arts and play. Don't think about yourself don't put a barrier between you and play.
And have fun.
Yes.
Have fun, because that's
people always say, is this good art or bad art? Wrong question, right?
Yeah, enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Experience it.
Yes,
I would say.
and actually that transfers to many aspects of life, right? Stop putting so many boundaries on yourself.
Yeah, or like putting yourself in a box, like, art is something for this type of people, or if I see an exhibition, I need to think like this, know about the artist. You don't need to know about art. What is it to know about art? Like, it's already difficult to define what art is, because art is literally surrounding us. So I feel for me, it's like, enjoy, experience, see what you like, what you don't like, and it's already like half of the way,
Yeah, just put yourself in front of some art.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just everyday life. Do it, make it a part of your life. Just like music, just like words, put yourself in front of it. Don't be afraid. Oh, okay. Are you a content maker yourself? Do you make art yourself?
No. No, I truly believe that I'm passionate about art, but like I truly believe
You're a curator.
for me, it's important also for my objectivity, because I feel like when you're an artist yourself, it's really difficult to actually see a different way of doing things, or like understanding different like technique or different like aspects of art. So when I speak to different type of artists, for me it's easier to understand that language, even though might not be mine, or like I don't, so I can actually get inside another universe. It's basically like opening another book. And if I was a book writer myself, maybe I would like only one type of genre, when right now I can open whatever book, then enjoy all of it. So, and I do believe that it's easier to talk about an artist that you're not yourself, because you're less, even though you're emotionally attached to it, it's different.
Right.
It's not like it's not part of your soul. You're talking about the soul of someone else, and it's a lot easier than talking about yourself.
If resources were of no object, what kind of show would you like to create?
That's a big one. Actually, we're doing a lot. Like, if I had a bigger space, I would love to do more performing arts, because I'm a dancer myself, and
She's some
I'm not a professional. I'm far from being like that good. I also love play. I did years and years of playing theater because I love it. I love like I love reading, so for me, like playing in front of people was great because it was again sharing my passion, and dancing also offers me this chances of like connecting with different people and like sharing another passion. But so if I could manage to have a space that would be like having more performing arts, having more play, like we actually thought about doing a murder mystery inside the gallery, but like it's difficult because again it's a narrow space, but like Phnom Penh being Phnom Penh, like it's difficult when you're downtown, but like any capital cities, right, to have a huge space to actually being able to do this type of thing. So actually, this is what we're starting this year. We did a lot of we're partnering with a lot of different places, and we don't have only Sra Art in Sra Art. We have Sra Art in like a lot of different locations in Phnom
Sra Art
Penh.
is a concept, and not bound by a building.
Exactly.
So your studio space is for a certain, has certain limitations, but other places can be partners.
Exactly.
With you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
This is why when, for example, we partner every week. We have a monthly exhibition in Raffles Hotel, and every month we're switching the artists, and every week during the brunch we're doing a performance by an artist. That can be anything. That can be a musician. That can be the artist himself that's doing a live painting. That can be dancers. That can be contemporary dance, tango dance, like classic dance. That can be a poem. That can be beatboxing. Like we literally did so many things, and this is why like it was important because he was like almost translating something that's like, because the all is inspired by the exhibition that we're having, so we're changing every month, but each artist with their own tools and their hand or their instruments or the bodies expressing what they feel when they have, like when they're in front of the art. So when after you're, like it might seem silly, like you're in a brunch and you're seeing this, but it kind of invites you to go and after check it out, the exhibition itself. So it was kind of, a great thing again to mix experience with not just what's in the wall, but also what inspires you. So it allows everyone to be inspired as well and creating something from it.
Oh, you are truly amazing and a sister of my heart. And
well, thank you for inviting me and
an
talking
honor.
about my passion.
yeah, well, it is mine too, so it's like a no-brainer, right?
You know what just dawned on me?
What?
I think Cecile is a fellow curator.
Yes. We're having a conversation between curators.
Yeah.
Yes, and because we're curators are rare, so it's so exciting to be talking to someone
Yes.
who understands seeing people's talents and seeing the possibilities. And I'm like, oh yeah, and then we can do this, and then we can do this, and then we can do this, and then oh wait, you gotta see this tonight. Oh wait, you've got to see this tonight. And oh no, I have something in the hotel for you, and all these things.
And furthermore, not only is Cecile a fellow curator, she's also a storyteller. And it sounds like you have a very, very strong message, and you look for artists who will help you share that message.
Yes.
That all
Yes.
three together, magnifique.
Thank you. But again, like for me, it was just like, again, I'm not trying to create a revolution here, but if I can help this country, make a step forward and showing how much talented people are living in this country, even though, of course, went through the trauma of the war not that long ago, and they lost everything. They lost all the older artists. And now to see like the reborn of all this,
Yes.
it's so beautiful.
Yes.
And I really believe that Cambodia will be put on the map very soon.
Yes, because they're hungry.
Yeah.
They're hungry, and you see that hunger, and you're one yourself. You are hungry for them to rise. And so, yes, if there's anything that I can do to help you partner, to help, that would be truly an honor to do that. So I have a question for you.
Another one.
Another one. If someone's an artist in Cambodia or in Southeast Asia or in this world, what would you want them to do? How would you encourage them?
Well, connect with, like, having a community of artists is also very important, and this is also like something that I started here, even in Phnom Penh. Like, even having so artists, the same way art galleries, it's like people in general, they love drama. people love drama. This is the thing. We're all human. And I'm like, I don't want to go inside drama. Like, we're not there to be like all best friend with everyone. And of course, artists have their own ego, and it's always difficult when you talk again about your soul. You have your own perception of things. So the main problem is also saying, okay, if I disagree with you, can we still work together?
Yes.
And I answer yes. Because as a collective, especially when it's like a emerging market, because it is here, connect with other artists.
Yes.
Connect with them, even though you might not like what they're doing, you might not understand their message, you will go into the same journey. And because of that, you're stronger when you're together, and you're stronger, and also you make your voice more heard. And you will understand the mistake that other people have been through, and you will hopefully and they will learn about you, and you will learn about them. So I think the first step is like connecting with other people around you, talking about your art, and like try to find platform to show what you want to say.
Yes. And also know that yes, you are your own individual, you have your own voice, but you also need a community.
Yeah.
And being a part of a community will actually teach you humility and learning how to get along with other people and healing. I mean, even as an artist myself, I've had to learn a lot about letting go of my hurt, letting go of my defenses, so that I will partner with someone else, and maybe if I don't understand them, learning to find a common ground. But sometimes there are very rare moments where we cannot agree in the heart. And when that happens, then we have to respectfully say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but those are very, very important steps that we have to go through. But to do it with respect and
To do it with respect is the main thing.
Yeah.
Like, always respect your community, because at the end of the day, you're stronger together. So
Yes. So that's now. I have one more question. Of
Yes.
course, I have plenty of questions. I want, if this was the very last thing you could say to the world, what would you say to them?
wow! I hope it's not the last thing I want to say to
Right.
the world.
But
Explore. Go around and try to experience things that you've never done before. Try to go around and look for, again, art in your heart. Literally look at what surrounds you. Go explore places. Open more. Not just galleries, but I love urban art, for example. Looking at what the murals around you. Talk to different people. Talk to the artists. Help them discover something about yourself as well. Because just explore. Yeah.
Explore.
And experiment.
Explore. Yes. Open your hearts and go out. Go out. Go meet someone. Say hello to them. See them. So, my brother will say, do you have a question for me?
Now you get to ask her questions.
What do you think about Cambodia? Seriously, did you like the vibe? Did you enjoy it? It's your first time here, right?
It's absolutely my first time here, and I have totally loved the openness of this country, the warmth, the hospitality. It's not put on. I have found sisters here that have taught me how to love myself more.
You're a beautiful person.
Thank you. I came here with a very broken body, but my spirit was broken even more, and I didn't want it to stay that way. And I didn't know Cambodia had answers for me. So that's what has happened here.
I'm glad you found some answers.
Yes. And more questions.
Yeah. But that's always important, right?
Right.
The question is most often more important than the answers. Actually.
Exactly. And oftentimes the questions now is, this is who I am. How can I help you? How can we partner together so that we can make this world a better place? So that's what I have. Cambodia, I love you. Thank you so much for the gifts that you have given me. And of course, Cecile has been one of the sisters that I met in this place. And it gives me hope that there's not just me. I went around this world to look for people like her, and I found her. I found you.
I'm glad we found each other. Really.
Yes. So anyway, before I start like bawling, well, we'll probably do that later. It's my joy and pleasure and honor to introduce you to Cecile with Sra Art Studios.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And this is what Kim Lin Tan Bappy signing out from Q's Blue World. Love you all. Want you all to get better. Go out and explore. Give yourself a chance. Yeah, give yourself a chance. Yeah, you have only one life, so don't fuck it up.
That's well said.
All right, love you. Mwah.